Today's video is brought to you by Card Kingdom, and right now you can get this sweet Scoop Soldier sticker when you order over at cardkingdom.com. Just mention in your order notes that you want a Scoop Soldier sticker when you go to checkout. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So as you know, Thursday means it's Fishbowl Thursday here at Instant Deck Tech Land, and we have a ridiculously spicy standard list to look at today. This is a deck we're calling Kenrith's Reclamation Project, and it comes to us from David Vidazul. So thank you so much to David for sending in a really awesome deck, and if you'd like your own deck considered for a future Fishbowl Thursday or the Fish Tank article series, make sure to leave a link in the comments, or you can email me, saffronolive@MTGGoldfish.com. So let's talk about Kenrith's Reclamation Project for Standard, and this is a deck that is built around a card that normally, when I see it at the battlefield, I'm kind of like, oh, not again, and that's Wilderness Reclamation. So Wilderness Reclamation has often been played as kind of a combo card, and in all honesty, it is kind of a combo card in our deck, but we're not looking to untap our lands, counter all your spells, burn you out with a big expansion explosion. No, we are playing Wilderness Reclamation in a much jankier, much more fun, and still very powerful way, which is we are using Wilderness Reclamation to be able to activate Kenrith the Return King a whole bunch of times. That's what we're doing, none of the normal tier Wilderness Reclamation shenanigans. So the idea here is Kenrith has all these abilities that we can activate at instant speed, putting counters on things, gaining life, drawing cards, reanimating stuff. So we can get down to Kenrith, we can activate it a few times, and if we have Wilderness Reclamation, we're going to untap all of our lands. Maybe we even have multiple Wilderness Reclamations. We can float over our mana, activate Kenrith, untap all of our lands again. So this allows us to get a ridiculous amount of value out of Kenrith the Return King, and that's the main plan for our Wilderness Reclamation, to really throw the deck into overdrive. We also have Nyxbloom Ancient, which just makes all of our lands tap for 3 times as much mana. We don't have any non-land mana sources in the deck, so just lands in this deck, but technically any permanent is tripled in mana. So this means all of our lands are tapping for 3 instead of 1, and that means we can activate Kenrith 3 times as many times, which means we just get a ridiculous amount of value out of Kenrith and Wilderness Reclamation, and we even have some weird combo shenanigans. So as far as combos, our biggest combo piece outside of Kenrith is our one Woe Strider, which we'll find eventually as we're drawing through our deck with Kenrith. Woe Strider allows us to sack a creature. That is the big deal about Woe Strider. So how could this be valuable? Well, remember, Kenrith's last ability is 5 mana, 4 and a black, to reanimate something. So this means if we can stack up all this mana, all these Wilderness Reclamations, maybe a Nyxbloom Ancient, get a Woe Strider going, we can just keep reusing creatures with Enter the Battlefield triggers. So we can maybe cast a Agent of Treachery, steal one of our opponent's things, sack our Agent of Treachery to Woe Strider, get a Scry out of the deal, and then reanimate Agent of Treachery with Kenrith to get it back and steal something else. And the really sweet thing about this is we can do it all at instant speed. So we can wait until our opponent goes to attack, steal their best attacker, however we want to do it. So that is the true power of this, being able to keep reusing our creatures with Enter the Battlefield triggers. We also have Angel of Grace, kind of a forgotten mythic from back at Ravnica block. Angel of Grace, when it comes into play, any damage that would put us to below 1 reduces our life total to 1 instead, which means we can basically lock ourselves out of ever dying to damage with Kenrith, Woe Strider, and Angel. If our opponent goes to kill us, we just sack Angel of Grace to Woe Strider, reanimate it with Kenrith. No, we're only going to one opponent, do it again the next turn, do it again the next turn, so we can basically just never die as long as we keep our combo pieces on the battlefield. And then we have a bunch of sweet ways to protect Kenrith. So remember the same combo, being able to sack stuff to our Woe Strider. That means we can Frilled Mystic to counter something. Then if our opponent goes to kill our Kenrith, we can sacrifice our Kenrith to Woe Strider, get it in the graveyard, reanimate it with Kenrith. Charming Prince, when it comes into play, does a bunch of things. It can scry, it can gain us life. The big protection ability, though, is exiling another creature we control and returning at our end step. So if we have a Charming Prince in our graveyard, we can wait until our opponent goes to kill our Kenrith. They cast their Murderous Rider or whatever. We can reanimate Charming Prince, flicker out our Kenrith to fizzle the removal spell, get back our Kenrith at a turn, go back to generating value and comboing off. So that's the plan of the deck, setting up this massive mana plan with Kenrith, and then just generating absurd amounts of value. We also have some other just big creatures. Cavalier of Gale gives us a ton of card draw with Kenrith if we we keep reanimating, and just a decent creature on its own. Cavalier of Dawn can blow up a bunch of non-land permanents. Dream Eater can bounce all of our opponents' non-land stuff if we keep blinking it, and it has flash, so it works well with Wilderness Reclamation on its own. Otherwise, Thirst for Meaning and Opt give us more things to play at instant speed with Wilderness Reclamation. Thirst for Meaning, also nice because it's a discard outlet for our Kenrith, so if we're on the reanimation plan, maybe we don't want to spend 7 mana on our Agent of Treachery, we can Thirst, draw some cards, discard Agent of Treachery, go on to reanimate it. Otherwise, we get a bunch of ramp. Growth Spiral ramps us into Wilderness Reclamation Kenrith. We really want as much mana as possible on the battlefield because the more mana we have, the more times we can activate our Kenrith. And then Dryad of the Illicit Grove is perfect for Kenrith because it allows all of our lands to tap for all colors of mana, which means we all of a sudden don't have to worry about being pinched on black mana, being pinched on blue mana to draw cards. We can just activate Kenrith however we want to at any time, no matter what our actual mana base looks like, which is especially important because we are kind of a 4-ish color deck, and we even want red mana sometimes to haste things up with Kenrith, even though we don't really have red lands. So the mana fixing aspect is very important. Mana base wise, I'm not going to walk you through all of it. It is a pile of lands of all varieties, Fabled Passage, a bunch of different basic lands, some shock lands, some temples. If you want to see it, just look at the deck list, you can see, but basically a pile of dual lands to hopefully make our mana work. As far as our sideboard, Destiny Spinner makes our stuff uncounterable against control. Thassa's Intervention, Whirlwind Denial gives us some counters. Thassa's Intervention, also like an insane tuner with Wilderness Reclamation. If we don't have Kenrith, we can float all of our mana similar to how the tier decks do it with Expansion Explosion and dig like 10, 20 cards deep. Make sure we find our Kenrith and whatever else we want. Time Wipe, Legion's End for removal against aggro. Heliod's Intervention, another instant speed expel, so we can gain a ton of life or just blow up a ton of artifacts and enchantments. With help of our Wilderness Reclamation, another Angel's Grace to fight against damage decks. And that is the ridiculous plan of Kenrith's Reclamation project for Standard. And that's been our instant deck for today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.